Right, let's grab a ball and roller our feet. So you can use any type of ball, a golf ball, a ping pong ball, a spiky ball, anything really. Let's roll our feet. Oh. So, it's very dark this morning. So yeah, roll your feet. Very good to roll the feet, relax them a bit because they get rather tense in our shoes, especially if your shoes aren't wide enough, which is really common. Ooh. And swap sides. Crunchy, crunchy. Maybe you've got one of these spiky balls. Try and roll your feet every day, preferably twice a day. Do your hands too, if you get a chance. You could have one ball on one ball, a ball on a foot and a ball on a hand. And go in all directions as well. It's very tempting to just stand there and go like this, but actually you want to do heel in a circle, arch of the foot, go acrosswards, round in a circle, move the toes. Oh, that's nice. Feels better. Okay. I'm just going to grab we're just going to grab the ball and we're just going to roll our calves as well. So you might want to sit on the floor for this. And just going to get the ball and just roll the calf muscle. So you can do it with your hand like this. Ooh, so go right down to the ankle. You might find some bits that I'm just going to swap balls because this isn't very sticky. This one is. Or you could do it, put it on the floor like this, and then just use this leg to support you and roll back and forwards. I'm doing this because at the moment I have a bit of a bad knee. So get behind the knee, release off the muscles behind the knee a bit, and go round the sides, across the back, and on the inside as well. Ooh, good exercise if you can hold yourself up. You might not be able to, so you could just, put your bum on the floor and wiggle it around. There's always a way. And swap legs and then go to the side. So maybe put your hands down and go to the side, down the side. When you get to right on the back of the knee, be very careful. Go gently and then rotate your leg inwards and go on the inside of the back of the knee. This might be a good one if you've skied all day. Oh, and then down the calf muscle. See if you can hold yourself up. Push into the foot that's on the floor here. Push down. Wow. Right. Down the side's always a nice place to get. You might find it's a bit tingly. So release off the calves, down the sides. Next move, we're going to use this calf stretcher. If you don't have a calf stretcher, you can just roll up a towel. Roll up a towel. Or roll up a blanket or use a book. or you could use a hand weight. Now I'm going to get up, quick drink. Now we're going to come to a calf stretch now. So grab your rolled up towel and put the ball of your foot onto the calf stretcher, heel on the floor, leg straight. Relax the toes. Relax the toes. Leg straight. So come with your weight in the centre. See if you can step your foot forward and step it back and step it forward and step it back. So it might be super tight for you and you can't. So you can't step your foot forward. And then you may like to fold forward, pour the bowl and fold forward. Keep the leg straight. Try and relax the knee. So scrunch it up and then relax it. And then use your bottom. Think of your tailbone, bring it up. So pouring your bottom, your pelvis forward to stretch the muscle, the back of the leg. Ooh, and then see if you can rotate the thigh outwards, but use the little muscles in your bum to do that. Press down the joint of the big toe. Press into the floor. Ooh, and maybe you'd like to just roll down. So stretch your back, roll your back right the way over. Rotate your thighs out. Tuck your chin under, stretch the back of your neck. You might want to hold the back of your head. Oh, and then roll up and we'll switch sides, go to the other side. So ball of the foot on the calf stretcher or on a towel or a book or something. And then, ooh, heel on the floor and then hip, knee and ankle all in a line down the side. Press the ball of the foot, press the joint of the big toe on into the calf stretcher. Relax your toes, relax your knee. Rotate your thigh outwards and then maybe step forward and back. This today is I'm going to do some twists. Ooh. And then bring your legs equal and then fold forward. So we imagine your pelvis is a bowl and you're pouring forward. So the top half all comes in one piece and you push your bottom back and just go to the point where maybe your knees start to grip up. You can relax them. Rotate your thighs outwards. Only a little bit, just to engage the muscles in your bum. And then tailbone up. Ooh. And then roll down to the floor. So let your back arch, let your head drop. For me, my back of my neck is quite tight, so I'm going to tuck my chin under, put a bit of weight on the back of my head, and just stretch the back. And then roll up. Let's do a top of the foot stretch. So just standing like this, feet straight, and then curl the toes under and push the top of the foot towards the floor. Ooh, So as if you're going to pull this leg through forward, but it's not going to go anywhere. That's the feeling that you want to create, as if you're just about to pull your leg through and the top of the foot reaches for the floor. And then out to the side, and then big toe. So push your ankle out to the side and then roll onto your big toe as well. So roll across the toes, and then put the toes on the floor and have them a little stretch like that. So stretch them out, maybe roll over the top and roll back. That's quite hard to do. Stretching out the foot. Push the top of the foot towards the floor. Let's go to the other side, switch sides. So same thing, tops of the toes on the floor. Push, like go to pull your leg through. Really curl your toes under, push the top of the foot down towards the floor, and then go out to the pinky. So take your ankle out to the side and then stretch your big toe. So go inwards and outwards and inwards. And then push the toes down. So roll onto the toes as if you're pushing off. And then roll over to the top and roll. Yeah, get those toes to be a bit more flexible, because then they serve you well then. You can feel more of the floor, and they can respond better when they can feel on the floor. Right, what's next? Oh yeah, so grab a block, just grab a block, or grab a book, or something to put your ankle on. Just going to do an ankle rotation. So you're going to put the foot with the ankle hanging over the edge of the block. And now we're just going to close our eyes and bring all your attention to the heel of the foot. And we're going to draw a big circle with the heel of the foot. So quite a slow circle. So if you can keep all your legs still. You don't want your toes to come into it. Well, of course they will a bit, but imagine there's a pencil attached to the heel of your foot and you want to draw a big circle. So going out to the side, just move, draw a big circle. Maybe change it up a bit and take the heel back and draw a long line. So how long can you draw the line for? So bring the heel back towards the calf muscle and then push the heel away as far as you can, and then pull the heel up towards your calf muscle. So all your attention is in the heel of the foot. Forget the toes. And then maybe go out to the side now. So it's really difficult. Try not to rotate your knee. Take your heel out to the side and then other side, other side. So your toes are going to come with you, but you're just going to have to focus on the heel, and then go back to another circle and maybe rotate it the other way. You could just hang your foot over the sofa or something if you haven't got a block. You don't need a block to do this. And then let's swap. Oh no, let's just do point. As pointy as you can. Point. Maybe point and then see if you can spread your toes out. Stretch them. And then flex as much as you can. So bring your toes towards you. And point, spread your toes out and flex. Swap legs. So other side. Same thing, sort of close your eyes and then imagine a pencil is attached to the heel of the foot and you're drawing a big circle. Ooh, draw as big a circle and as slow as you can make it and try and keep your legs still. It's very tempting to move the leg instead of the ankle, but really want to isolate the movement to the ankle. And then go back the other way. So draw a big circle. And then maybe take your ankle all the way inwards and then all the way outwards. Keep your legs still. All the way inwards and all the way outwards. And then point as much as you can. Spread your toes out in the point position. Find that really hard, so my toes a bit damaged. And then flex your toe back. So bring your toes up towards you and point and spread the toes out. And flex, point. Okay, next move we're going to do, you're going to come up to the feet and we're going to so you need a chair. I'm going to use the sofa here. So just going to do a pelvic lift. So you're going to stand straight, have your chair next to you or something to hold on to. I'm just going to come and stand on one foot. So you're going to press down this leg into the floor. So all the action is in this leg, pressing it into the floor. Spread the toes out, pressing enough to kind of gently lift the other leg off the floor. But we're not hoisting up this hip. So we're just pressing, pressing, pressing. Okay, get that pelvic lift. Bring your weight back so that you're not over your toes like that. You want to be backed up, straight leg, push down onto that leg. So just balance. You'll need this block as well. So put the block in front of you. So we're balancing on this leg. Our feet are lovely and flat because we've stretched them off and move them. Our toes are flat on the floor too. Weights back. Now we're just going to hinge forward with the hips. Keep the legs straight as far as you can. Just warm it up first. And if you can reach further and reach for the block, grab the block and pick it up and come up. So just going to do a couple of those. So try and keep the legs straight. When you go to fold forwards, bring your weight back a little bit. Fold from the hips. Fold, fold. It's quite hard work. See if you can touch the top of your block and then come back up again. Try again. So let's do two more. See, so fold from the hips, weight slides back gently, and then pour from your hips. Very slow movement. See if you can keep pouring so you're not using your upper back to stretch for the block. You're going to be like a crane. One more. Ah, blimey, my hips screaming. So reset yourself. Balance, push into the standing leg and then hinge from that hip. It's very hard work, so take your time. Try and keep your leg as straight as you can. Touch the top of the block and then come up again. Okay, let's swap legs. So you don't have to reach for a block on the floor. You could touch the sofa or the top of a chair. So pelvic lift, I'll do it from the front now. Pelvic lift, so balance on one leg, push. So this leg is straight, the knees unlocked, the toes are spread on the floor, and the weight is backed up. So you're not on your toes, you're not leaning forward. So you can come back and then just find that balance. Push down on the standing leg. Push, 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 push. So you activate the muscles in your glute, in your bum. Okay, now I'm going to hinge from the hips. So just gently, I'm not going to go and reach for anything yet. I'm just going to get the hinge right. So hinge, hinge, hinge. Keep the front of you square. Leg as straight as you can. Tailbone up. Just hinge. And then come up again. Do it again. So hinge, 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 hinge. Take your weight back a little bit. Do what you can. Relax your toes. Don't let them scrunch up. I just did that. This foot behind, try not to let the foot roll out. Try and keep it straight. Very tempting to bend the leg as well. See if you can touch the block and then come up. Let's do 2 more. Oh, it's hard. Harder on this leg. Stand, pelvic lift, push down into the floor with this leg. Ready? Hinge, 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 hinge. Very good for strengthening the hips there. Ooh, not sure if I can reach the foot. Hinge your way down to whatever you're going to tap. Oh, let's do 1 more. Ready? Hinge, bring your weight back a little tiny bit. Hinge, 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 and then come up. Okay, next move is very similar. I'm going to hold on to something. I'm going to hinge forward. Just going to hold on to the hinge forward. And then you're going to push on into this standing leg and roll the hip open. So pushing down into this leg and then just doing this kind of movement, keeping this leg straight. Don't have your leg coming forward like this. You want your leg straight. And then push into the heel of this leg to open up the hip. And of course you could lean forward, you could hinge more if you want to, holding onto the chair or the back of the chair or something. Opening it. So it's all in the push on this leg. So use that. You don't want to be using this muscle in your bum. You want to be pushing down onto the standing leg. And then drop the hip. See if you can drop the hip past the other side of the hip towards the floor. So really stretching out the hip now. So imagine that if I use this block, the hip's gone out like this to rotate the leg out. And now we're going to let the hip drop to the floor. So like this. Drop the hip down. Bring the weight back. Ooh, try and relax the knee. Very difficult to relax the knee, but clench it up and then relax it. Let the hip drop. And go between the two if you want. So open. Use this leg as the mover for it. And the hip. And then drop the hip. And then open it up. Do 2 more. Drop the hip. It's not easy to drop the hip, so just be careful. And open it up. Just strengthening that hip. Keep the leg straight. And open it up. Let's switch sides. So I'll hold on to the radiator. So I'm on the other leg. So straight leg. Bend forward as far as you can. Weight back. And then push into the leg to open up the hip. easier on this side for me. And then push into the leg, the standing leg, to open up the hip. Push into the standing leg to open up the hip. And then let the hip fall past the other hip towards the floor and then open it up. Keep this leg vertical, not forward, so you're not on your toes. So your weight's back here, ready? Drop this hip and push into the heel to open up the hip. And drop this hip and open up to the side. One more, drop the hip, push into the heel of this standing foot to open up. Right, wiggle your hips. Oh, that's hard work. Right, let's just do a hamstring stretch on the chair. So we sometimes do this on the floor, but you can equally do it as well on a chair. So put your foot on a chair, flex the foot, toes towards you, legs straight, feet straight, and then hinge. So I'm hardly going anywhere. So hinge from the hips, pour the hips forward. It's all in the hips. Relax the knee. Stretch out the back of the leg, but you use the tailbone, drive it upwards, pour the hips forward to create the tension down the back of the leg. And then if you want to, you could rotate your leg outwards and inwards from the hip if you've got that movement, just to release it a bit, just to, you know, change it up a bit. Oh, and maybe put your toes if you want, and then flex, maybe spread your toes out if you want to. Oh, maybe rotate your leg outwards from the hip and then fold a bit more. So pour a bit more from your hips. Okay, other side. Heel on the chair. So make sure you're not leaning your hip forward. You want to be square across the front here. And you want your foot on the floor to be straight. And you want your toes to come up towards you. And your ribs down. Toes, draw them up towards you. You could do this on a bench when you're out and about. Walking, and you might find that your knees gripped up. Mine has. See if you can relax it. Once you've got that relaxed knee, you could start to pour your hips forward. So very slight movement to bring the tension down the back of the leg. Oh, and then maybe rotate the leg out, the whole thing from the hip and in, not just the ankles. Keep the ankle still. Rotate the leg out and in, out and in, out and in. It's really, really nice. And then come back to out and then bring your tailbone up even more. Oh. Drop your ribs down, so don't be pushing your chest forward. Bring your head back on your shoulders. Very nice. Right, just going to do the insides of our legs now. So there's two ways to do this. One is you can take your leg out to the side and have your foot facing the front. Here, watch this hip isn't out to the side here. You want it stacked on the knee. Same thing, you want your pelvis to pour forward, so bring your tailbone up. Find the inside of the leg stretch. And it might be you need to come onto your toes and maybe sit back a bit So find this stretch here. So that could be one way of doing it, or you could push yourself up onto your toes, depending if you've got that accessible to you. And then you could push your elbow into the inside of the knee. So widen the space here, flex the foot, just stretching here. So it's all in the pelvis again, drawing the hips forward, bringing the tailbone up. Really, really stretching the insides of the legs. And then let's go to the other side. So come across, put the foot out to the side, don't you? Put the foot out to the side. But, oh, somebody coming in. So put your foot out to the side. And then don't forget here, don't have your hip out to the side. So make sure this bit is straight, your hip and your knee. So you're not doing it like that. Okay.
Hi.
Yeah, so foot on the floor. Maybe curl the toes under at the back and sit back. So find your inside of your leg stretch. So you could sit back until you find it. See if you can keep your foot on the floor, or you could bring it up. See, everybody has their own way of finding it. So it's all in the tailbone, the bottom of the spine. Bring the tailbone up. And then for some of you who might have a bit more movement accessible to you, you could come out, push the elbow into the knee, flex the foot. Stretch the inside of the leg. You could give it a rub as well. You could squeeze behind your knee. That's quite nice. Right, we're going to come onto the floor and we're going to do a seated twist. So for some people, you might not be able to sit with your pelvis. You might not be able to sit without being tucked. So find something to sit on so that your back's got a nice curve here, and so you're more upright. Sometimes if you sit on the floor, you're tucked under like this. You want to find something to help you sort of sit upright. And then just going to bend one knee. And then, so this is my right knee, I'm just going to bend it and I'm just going to twist my ribs round. So you use the opposite hand to the opposite knee and then twist yourself round. Drop your shoulders down. Bring your head back on top of your shoulders and maybe twist your neck round. But concentrate on the twist and staying straight. And then when you're in the twist, see if you can fill your lungs with air. Take a few breaths. Really fill them up. Maybe see if you can twist a bit more. Look over your shoulder. Twist your neck round very gently. Drop your shoulders. Maybe you'd like to reach back with your arm. Try not to lean back though. Stay tall. And then let's swap sides. So bend your knee. So left knee, right hand. Take your hand to the outside of your leg and use that as a lever to twist yourself round. Drop your shoulders down. Once you're comfortable here, then
Come out now.
Then fill up your lungs. So twisting, and then look over your shoulder. See if you can pull your head back up onto the top of your shoulders as well, and twist your neck. Be mindful of, you know, how far you can twist. Oh, that's nice. And while we're here, just put so sit on the floor and put the bottom of your feet together and just roll down. Stretch out your spine. Same thing, fill up your ribs. Take some really deep breaths. Tuck your chin right under. Stretch your spine. And then maybe reach the top of one ear out front, and then reach the top of the other ear, and sort of bring the spine with you as well. So bring the shoulder and just reach forward to stretch the sides of the spine. Or you could use your hands as well. You could reach with your elbow forward, stretch your fingers, and reach for the other side. You can feel it right the way down your back. It's lovely. And then reach for the other side. And then reach for the other side. Okay, let's just slide off whatever you're sat on. I'm just going to open up the hips. So you're just going to drop the hips from side to side. Make sure there's enough room for your knee to come towards the floor. So you don't want to be twisting like this. And you can if you want to, if that's your range of movement. But ideally you want to have enough space for your legs to twist. And maybe have your feet wide and then just drop one knee into the floor and open it. Drop one knee and open it. Drop one knee. And the other side. So keep everything still apart from this one leg that's going in and out. There's a lot of crunching going on, right? And then we're going to land both knees on one side, come up onto your bum cheek, and then we're going to twist round. So try and stay tall, twist your ribs about your hips, right the way round, and then reach. So try not to lean back too much, just try and stay tall. And you can use this other knee to push yourself around. Drop your shoulders, reach all the way around. Watch those ribs. You don't want them to be flaring up. You want them down and twisted. And then go to the other side. So bring your legs to the other side. Stay tall. And then twist the ribs about the hips as much as you can, reaching with your arm. Bring your head back so you're not jutting your head out forward. Stack your head back. Ribs down. Twist, twist, twist. Okay. Let's okay, now I'm going to come onto our front. I'm just going to do we're going to take our knee out to the side. So just going to stretch the inside of the leg. But also if you wanted to, so this is my right leg, you could weave your arm through as well. And just drop your forehead down. So we're mega twist. If it's too much for you, just reach across diagonally. So leg out to the side, stretching the inside of the leg. And at the same time, we're going to either reach diagonally or weave your arm under you and drop your shoulder. You might hear your back crack. So be prepared. So you can have your palm up or your palm down. Just stretch the shoulder in a twist. So it doesn't matter where you get to. You could just, you could be off the floor a bit. You don't have to have your shoulder on the floor. And let's go to the other side. So for me, I've got my left leg out to the side. And now I'm going to weave my arm through. Oh, being really mindful because my back is a bit sore here. So just be careful. Try not to ramp the ribs up. Try and draw them down towards your front fork. Quite an intense stretch. So you can have your palm up or your palm down. Okay, we're going to now come on to all fours and do a bit of cat-cow. So putting your hands on the floor, spread your fingers out. If you find that hard, just do a quick top of the hand stretch. So put the top of the hand on the floor and then bring the elbow pit round to the front. So pushing into the top of the hand. So, and then go to the other side. So top of the hand and then elbow pit to the front. Or you could do it double if you wanted to. Okay, and now come back to all fours. So let go of your tummy so that your tailbone is up. We're just going to move the pelvis. So just going to tuck the pelvis under and pull it forward. So keep the ribs still. Slide the shoulders down so that they're engaged. Elbow pits to the front. And just tuck your pelvis under and pull it forward. Tuck it under. Really good tummy exercise here. So think about your front fork, drawing it up towards the bottom of the ribs and then releasing it the other way. Drawing it up and releasing it. Drawing your front fork up and then releasing it. Drawing, do two more. Release. Right, and then maybe draw a big circle. So keeping the ribs as still as you can. Draw a big circle with your bottom. Very nice. And then go the other way. Drawing a big circle the other way. So same thing, tucking under. And now bring in the ribs. So tuck under and stretch the ribs. And then bring in the head. So then they go the other way. So pull forward. Bring the head up. And then tuck under. And then maybe when you're up in the arch, see if you can look down one side and bring the side hip up to the shoulder. And then go to the other side. So you've arched your back and then you're looking behind you and you're squeezing the waist so that the shoulder on this side and the hip are drawing towards each other. Oh, that's nice. And then go the other way. So then pull your hips forward and then look over the side. Bring the hip up to the shoulder and then the other side. Squeezing the sides. Really squeeze them if you want. Use them. And we're just going to have a quick twist. So you're going to weave one arm. So weave your arm between your hand and your knee and drop the same shoulder to the floor, bum in the air, and then put your fingers on the floor and push so that your shoulder, this shoulder of the supporting arm gets stacked on the other shoulder. Or you could bring up your arm, twisting round, reaching. And then to go to the other side, very gently. Weave your arm, drop your shoulder in your head, the side of your head on the floor. And then push into the fingertips to bring the shoulder stacked up on the other shoulder. That's it. It's come up. Just going to do a quick lunge. So bring one leg forward. And just however you feel like you want to lunge, but make sure your knee is over your ankle. And your foot straight. You don't want your foot out to the side like that. You want the ankle and the pinky toe in a straight line. So just stretch out your hips. So you might want to put some weight on them, depends. You might want to lift the back ankle and hold on to it. Some people can, some people can't. Make a stretch. Watch these ribs, bring them down. You might want to take your knee out to the side, keeping your foot flat on the floor, pushing the big toe joint in to the floor. And let's do a twist. So put the opposite hand on the floor and reach up. Try and bring your ribs down so you're not flaring your ribs up and you're actually twisting your spine. Let's go to the other side. Just fit in a quick hamstring stretch here if you want. Ooh. Straighten your leg, straighten out the back of the leg, relax the knee, pull the hips forward. Okay, and then swap sides. So bring your leg. If you can't bring your knee round on its own accord, you could hook your hand under the back of the leg and just help it round a bit. And then let's lunge. So knee above ankle, foot straight. And then just find your lunge. So you might want to lift up the back leg and have a stretch as well if you wanted to. Pretty intense. Good. Put two hands on one side of the foot and take your leg out to the side. You could keep your foot flat. Push your knee out to the side. That's quite hard. What was keeping your feet flat? And then maybe you'd like to do a twist. So you put the opposite hand down and reach up. Try not to flare your ribs up. Try and keep them down and twist your spine. And then maybe you'd like to bring in a hamstring stretch here. Bring your toes up towards you. It's quite hard to balance like this. You might want a chair next to you. Okay. Now we're just going to do a few moves on the floor. So come down. I'm going to do a bit of twisting on the floor. So bring your knees in, hands out to the side, flex your feet, and then just drop your knees from side to side. So you might feel like you want to stay on this side and have a nice long stretch and feel your ribs, or you might feel that your lower back benefits from the movement. So you might want to just roll from side to side. Try not to use your arms as much to move your legs. Might want to go to one side and kick out the top leg straight with a flexed foot. And then you might want to go to the other side, kick out the top leg with a straight leg and a flexed foot. Spread your toes out. Do a couple more. So twisting, try and keep your shoulders on the floor if you can, or as near to the floor as possible. And next move is going to be this one. So do a figure of four. So put your ankle on the top of your knee and then lift your legs off the floor. You can hold the front of the leg. Try to pull your hips forward so you've got a space under your back. So you're not pushing your lower back into the floor. Bring up your legs. And then take this foot across to the floor if you want to. Keep your arms out to the side. You could find a different place to put your arms and then come back to the center and then swap legs. It's the same thing. So ankle to knee, flex the foot, bring in the legs whilst you pull your hips forward. If you're finding that your chin's up in the air with your head on the floor, you want to put something under your head to straighten out so you're not reaching with your neck like that. And then keep bringing your legs in towards you, pouring your hips forward, and then take your foot to the floor. Stretch that hip. Relax your arms. Breathe into the ribs. And then come up. Just going to hold one knee in and stretch out the other leg as straight as you can on the floor with a flexed foot. And then the other side, stretch out the leg. And then we're going to cross our legs as much as you can and then bring them in. So if you can hold your shins, great. If not, just hold the backs of the legs and the backs of the knees and just pull your knees in and try not to let your lower back touch the floor so much. See if you can pull your hips forward. Funny old stretch. And then swap legs. So and cross your legs and cross the other way and pull your legs into the floor. Pull your legs in so you can feel it in your hip, the hip that is the top leg. If you wanted to, you could go back to the other side and drop your legs down to the side as well. And then cross over the other leg. And then drop to the other side. Just going to roll on the floor. Roll your spine out. Try and round your back as much as you can so it's a nice smooth roll. For some of us that is hard, so you want to really roll your spine so you don't do a clunky roll. Roll. And then we're going to come up. So just going to come up and do a couple of squats and then we're going to finish. So come to standing. You can use the calf stretcher to make the range of movement of your squat a bit more, so you can get more range. So try and keep your knees where they are and push your bottom back and come down and up. You can equally do this on the floor like this. So try and not let your knees drop in. Keep the knees tracking outwards. So press your knees outwards into your fingers. Keep your feet flat on the floor. Reach back with your bum. So you can do it like this. If you've got some kind of weight, you could add a weight into it. That's what I'm doing at the moment to get strong for skiing. So push your bottom back. Go as low as you can. So it's all in the bum. So reach back with the bum. Pour the bum forward. So you want to bring the tailbone up as you reach back. 2 more. Feet flat on the floor. Feet straight. 1 more. Oh. And now we're going to come down as far as you can. So you might need to elevate the ankles just to come right down to the floor. We're going to finish with this twist. So put your elbow against the inside of your knee and open up to the side. Relax your shoulders if you can. Try and keep the joint of the big toe pressing into the floor. Don't roll to the outsides of the feet if you can help it. Go to the other side. If you can't do this, you can just sit on the floor and so maybe go like this. Same thing. Same kind of thing. Roll the shoulders. And that will do for today. I'm just going to switch off the